Did Meghan Markle's Rosé wine knock it out of the park, or is it just another failure to add to her ever increasing portfolio of flops? I am going to let you know today because I recently received, finally, after many, many days, about 17 to be honest, her wine, which was supposed to ship out, I believe, on the 10th, and then finally, or 9th, and finally came on the 17th. So, guys, I am going to do a taste test, let you know my true thoughts. Does Meghan Markle's wine, which was $30 a pop, does it live up to the hype? Does it live up to the cost? Or do these grocery store options knock her out of the park? I'm going to give you guys all the details. But if you haven't been to Royal News Network before, my name is Brittany. I do provide compelling royal commentary, so please hit the subscribe button. I would absolutely love to have you back. And we also have a little segment called the Crown Report, which I'll keep rather brief here because I actually have 12 rosés, so this is going to take a while. But I did want to shout out happy birthday to Prince George. He is turning 12 years old. Probably like many of you, I remember sitting at the TV, looking at the doors to Lindo Wing over there in London, waiting for those doors to open and for Prince George to come out and greet the public, his future subjects, for the first time. So very many happy birthdays to him. We got a new picture and a little behind the scenes videos, which I thought was really, really sweet, of all three kids together, because although they are, yes, one will be king, the other two will not, I think he will definitely need his siblings there as support. So I really do hope, and it seems to be the case, that the Waleses are continuing to grow a very strong family unit. We also had Belgian National Day, which was on July 21st. It's one of my goals one year to cover that day. Haven't had a chance to yet, but they had a downpour, they had a church service, a Te Deum, they had a lot of celebrations, and we saw the whole royal family out in force, including Princess Delphine, who was the former king's, I should say, King Albert's illegitimate daughter. She had some interesting comments, which I really do want to go over in a separate video. Her situation deserves a lot more exploration, and goes to show that even though people can, let's say, sue to get a royal title and receive one, they can still be incredibly ungrateful for the opportunities that they have. So that is definitely Princess Delphine. But we did also see Princess Elizabeth. We saw her siblings, King Philippe and Queen Matilda as well. So fantastic to see the whole family out there in support for the Belgian people in Belgium National Day. All right, so let's get into the review. And so I do want to preface this how I sort of want to do this. And I do want to put a disclaimer out. I'm not a wine drinker. So I will not be able to give you the sommelier answer of, the hint of something, something, something in the wine. I can't do that. But will I tell you if it tastes good, if it has an aftertaste? How does it compare to its competitors? Yeah, I can tell you guys. And one of the things I want to go over as well is presentation. So Meghan Markle's is the most expensive out of these. These include like Miraval, which is Brad Pitt's wine. I actually got some celebrity wines here as well. And I think it's interesting to not only just compare the actual product, which is the wine and its taste, but how does it compare to the presentation of other wines that I can get for cheaper at the grocery store anytime I want to? Because I want to reiterate, one of the absolute failure catastrophes of Meghan Markle's brand is that she's still going with the scarcity tactic, still keeping the batches really, really small, which means that people going to get attached to them. She's basically, it's just going to her sycophants, to be quite honest. And to start off with the review, once again, for at least shipping and processing, I ordered it on the 1st of July. Don't think it was shipped until the 11th or 12th. Took long to get here and didn't arrive to me until the 17th. I do live on the East Coast of the United States. So I find her processing, managing orders to be still incredibly abysmal. At least this time the tracking number was correct. I had it sent to a pickup location. So because that worked better for me, because I knew I'd probably be out of town by the time it arrived, because I already had a trip scheduled. And I like this happened again with my initial order from As Ever. It took 10 days to get to me. And part of that, again, arrived when I was out of town. The tracking number was wrong. So my package sat out in the rain because I didn't know it arrived because the tracking information was incorrect. I had to look at my ring to see that it arrived. One of the things as a customer you always want is consistency in orders. And there's no reason for having such an abysmal launch strategy. You had days, like over a week, to get everybody's order ready to go, and it still did not ship on the originally announced shipping day. It shipped about 2 days later. Again, I find this incredibly unprofessional, incredibly obnoxious, and a example again of how this is sort of a very, very crumbly run business. There's actually a very interesting podcast. You might have seen the Daily Mail about it. It's called The Art of the Brand, talking about Meghan Markle. Everything they said is basically things I've said before, but this goes back again to the foundational aspects of a good brand, which is making your customers happy. And I will always say, I give my honest review here, guys. I will always say that Meghan could turn her critics into customers if she could produce decent products, get them out on time, and not just kind of going with, sycophantic journalists. If you're confident in your products, like, give them to everybody. Run the risk of somebody not liking it. You might turn out to be great. So, anyways, just something to keep in mind. So, without further ado, let's get started. I will bring the box up here and we will unbox it together. So, it came in here, and again, I was forced to buy 3 bottles of this stuff. Card that says, as ever, enjoy. Haven't enjoyed so far, Meghan. Just pointing that out there. So, although to be quite frank, the videos of me reviewing your products have done fairly well. So thank you for that, because they've been terrible. So at least I got something out of them, because I don't think anybody else is getting anything decent out of these. All right. So I know you can't see them, but they arrive in this tissue, which I find to be really dumb. I had seen this before, but like, why? And of course, there's 3 of them. I just grabbed one. So, I mean, is this what am I impressed with $30 that I get tissue? Is she like trying to emulate like Louis Vuitton or something? It's kind of dumb. It's like cheap tissue that you could obviously get out of anywhere. It's not even branded. So if you don't know, I have a couple of pairs of designer shoes. What they can do, and some of them do, is actually brand their tissue. And so you can see the logo on the tissue. Meghan hasn't done that. Again, all these products I have found to be fairly cheap. So, and a sticker. How much does it cost to make a sticker? Like, 2 cents. So, wow, I paid $30 and all I got was a lousy sticker. Okay, so this is the bottle. Like, literally, this is nothing exciting at all. Like, bare bones basic. Anybody can literally, it's just like, there's just nothing to this. Now, I did get a wine from the same winery, another rosé, just to compare. Okay, so sorry for maybe the banging you're hearing so this one is actually taller, so I get more out of this one than I do with Meghan's. And Meghan's ALC is 14.5, which is higher than 12.5. So like, I'll look at most of these. This is 12.5. So her alcoholic content is much higher than I think most rosé wines. And so that'll have an impact here. Let's go on and get to the tasting. To be honest, well, like I said, guys, I don't drink. So this is about to get real interesting. Let's see how I do. This could be very entertaining in the future. Just pointing that out there. Just pointing that out there. So it is sadly a cork. I do have to say, guys, I'm loving the screw tops that wines often come with now. I think that's so much better for everybody's sanity. So again, nothing super exciting here. So I needed to double check. So they're both 750 milliliters. So this one must be slightly narrower in the base. And that seems to be pretty standard. But yeah, the presentation here is nothing to be excited about. And I'll show you the other ones that are much better. And to be frank as well, some of these I purchased way back in 2024. So when her rosé wine had been initially suggested. So there's some of these might not be good, to be quite honest. I mean, that's not the case with Meghan's, but in terms of rosé wine only keeps for a certain period of time. So I will have to see. Some of these may not be good, but I did get some just today. I got the Miraval wine today. and I got the Santa Margarita because they are closest in price range to Meghan's. Now, I probably paid about the same, if maybe a little bit more for the Kunde wine, and that's only because I had to pay for shipping, and I wanted something to compare that's from the same vineyard to see if Meghan's is better or worse. And I am by no means an expert at this. I'm sure some of you wine drinkers out there are like, "Oh, Brittany, you suck at this." The cork is slowly coming out. I know I'm giving you guys a play-by-play, which you probably don't care about. This takes so long. Oh, come on. There we go. Yeah. I don't like wine. This is going to be entertaining. Okay. So I do have this gigantic, I got it from the Biltmore just because it's really pretty. It has the Biltmore house like etched in there. So I'm only going to do a little bit because obviously this thing is huge. I had another. Okay, is it supposed to have like fizzy thing up at top? It's supposed to have fizzy? It's like fizzy. I see little fizzies up here. All right. Again, very, very little. What am I going to do with this stupid wine? I don't know. Let alone the other two. It's so annoying. Okay, so we'll put a little bit the stopper in here. It might taste better chilled, but we don't have time for that. So I mean, it's not the worst thing in the world. And that face is not just because it's bad, it's just because I don't like wine. I mean, it's honestly not bad from the little bit I've had. But for me, it's always like the second sip of wine that gets me. The first sip, I'm okay. The second sip, I'm like, ugh. So we'll see. I can see where maybe the little bit of the acidity kicks in. Honestly, it doesn't have much flavor. It's just kind of meh. I would call it meh. I don't have it's not the worst thing in the world. Like, I don't think it's very dry. Because if it was really dry, I'd feel it. So it says a delicately balanced rosé with soft notes of stone fruit, gentle minerality, and a lasting finish. What does minerality mean? I don't even know what that means. I'm trying to see. Is that crooked, the sticker? I don't think it is. Anyways. Is it okay? Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. Honestly, it's just kind of lingers. Is it supposed to linger like that? Like, I can feel it almost a little bit down my throat. Is it supposed to do that? I don't really know. But I'm almost stream of consciousness here, guys, because somebody's going to tell me, "Oh, that's just how it's supposed to be," and other people are going to say, "No, it's not supposed to do that." So I'm just letting you guys know what I think. We will try more of this, but okay. Got the cork in there just a little bit. So now let's move over to the same rosé. And again, this has a much higher alcohol content Meghan's does. Maybe so it can get you sauce so you don't like it. You can't tell. Okay, that's actually a much easier way to do it than the way I was doing it. I know some wine connoisseurs out there are freaking out. Oh, and I will say it does say on the cork, if the thing can stop. There we go. 2023 does say on the cork. And it also says unique, I think. So, hold on. So there's a little bit right there that I think just says unique. Interesting. Okay, now this makes more sense, ladies and gentlemen, because I was thinking the cork would say as ever. 2023 is kind of lame. It's like just telling you what it is. So the Kunde wine does actually have Kunde.com there. It has the brand name there. I actually consider this to be a bit better branding here. Honestly, this one feels heavier to me than this one does. At the very least, I think maybe the glass is stronger here. This is a lighter glass. That would be my guess. Because allegedly, again, they are the same weight. I don't know. I don't know because it says technically by volume of 750 millimeters or milliliters, which might not mean it's 750. Okay. I don't know. Ugh. I can still feel like a little bit of the taste of Megan's. It really lingers. But again, that might just be wine and I just might be being a baby. Okay, that took forever. But now we can test out this one. And again, guys, just doing little itty bitty bits. And no, I'm not changing out the glass or washing it between sips. That would take me forever. So this one has, I feel like, a stronger smell. Ooh. Definitely has a stronger something. But not alcohol. Like I have a stronger taste. I can't really tell you what it is. Flavors: fresh strawberry and crisp white peach. Will invite you to another sip. Okay, I do have to say this isn't bad. And I feel like I can detect strawberry in this. Maybe I'm crazy, but I feel like I can detect the strawberry bit. Like if I would have to debate between these two, I like the Kunde better, to be quite honest. I like this one better. So far, this one is winning the round. Megan's just doesn't have, there's just not a lot there, I feel like. I'll have to, I'll retest it at the end. I'll decide which one is my favorite. If I can do that. I can barely get the stupid corks off. Like for Pete's sake. But I feel like this one, I don't know, it's so weird to say. Like it still lingers a little bit. So but there's just something about Megan's, at least the one I've tasted so far, where I just don't get a hint of anything. It's just kind of eh. It's just there, if that makes sense. Okay. So, recorked this guy. So, now we'll go on to another celebrity brand, which is Avaline, which is from Cameron Diaz. Now, this one has a alcohol content, let's see here, a 12.5. So again, Megan's has more alcohol content. So is that to mask the not so good smell? I feel like minerality is just not really a good thing to. Anyways, and this one also has it's like vegan friendly. It has a screw top, which I really appreciate because I'm really crappy about getting this corks off. So I just have a little bit of the previous one, so I'll finish off that. Again, I'm not really much of an alcohol drinker, but that one, I mean, it's not bad. You might hear a lot of knocking. I will try to minimize that as much as humanly possible, but it just may not be possible. Because I'm doing this on my desk. The microphone resides on my desk. So this again is vegan friendly, light taste, light and fresh with notes of melon and zest, free from added sugar, artificial flavors, concentrate. Pairs well with the warmth of the sun and the company of your best friend. I also again appreciate the screw top for all of those us non-efficient wine aficionados out there. Love it. Oh, oh. Okay, that one is not my favorite. Not a fan of that. Megan's is a little bit better. So in ranking it so far, I would put the Kunde, Megan's, and Avaline. Now I have to take 2 sips because that way, but it's just kind of tingles. I just don't really like that. But it could also be because it's old. Because my understanding is rosés don't keep very well. So that could also be me. And I held on to all these for this video, and of course, she never came out with stuff. And Megan. Second time wasn't quite as bad, but yeah, not my favorite. So next we'll go with the Biltmore because they have a winery up there. And when it comes to display, I mean, I don't think there's much of a difference. I feel like Megan's glass content is lighter than the other ones. I don't know why. Hers feels lighter. Anyways, let's get on to the Biltmore. If you don't know, it is one of the largest privately, well, it is the largest privately owned home in the United States. I think it's still maybe bigger than the White House. Not sure. And it is a remnant of the Gilded Age. And we also, again, have, let's see, an additional detail. Because, again, I just want to show you the additional detail other people did. So you actually have the Biltmore crest there because they were part of the Vanderbilt family. George Vanderbilt is the one who designed. So got a better screw top this time. So hopefully, okay. So now we have, this isn't, I guess, exactly a rosé, and Zinfandel Blanc de Noir. So, but it's also kind of that rose color. So we're going to go with it. Ooh, I like the color. And again, corkscrew or cork has branded gear on it. I would expect that from Meghan's. Again, to only have 2023 screams of I got a deal on something and I'm not really putting the necessary branding into it. Again, this video. Hopefully you don't see me like totally. Okay, never mind. I know, again, some people will not like how I'm doing this, but we're doing what we got to do. So this is not quite a rosé, but oh, I do kind of like that one. So it doesn't feel very strong, which I really like. I'm trying to see what the alcohol content is because I find that to be an interesting comparison to Meghan. So this is a 2021 vintage or 2021 vintage. Again, this could get real interesting, guys. Trying to do little itty bitty sips. 11%. So this has the least amount of alcohol content that we've had so far. Probably my favorites. So, anyways, just pointing that out. Again, we have branded gear, which Meghan's doesn't have. And we're moving on to our next one is Cote des Roses. And it's a 2023. And I love the bottom of this bottle. It's a rose. So again, it's cheaper than Meghan's, but I feel like we have a better designed bottle here. There we go. Okay, so when it comes to alcohol content, this one, 13%. Meghan's has by far the highest alcohol content of any of these. Again, I'm giving myself, guys, very, very small sips here. Maybe by the time I get to the end, I will have had one glass of wine. Okay, let's. I feel like I put that in a bit of the same class as Meghan's. Just not much to talk about. So now we have Francis Ford Coppola, another celebrity wine here. And this is a 2022 12.5 alcohol content. So again, Meghan's by far above everybody in that. That one's a little different. Rosé of Pinot Noir. So it's a little different. Rose petal strawberries and earthy minerality of Italian blood oranges on the nose. And I don't like this one quite as much. It's okay. Not the same. Yeah. I just want to point out again, for the price Meghan is requiring you to pay, I have not seen her elevate this bottle in any sort of way. So again, we have another bit here and another, again, branded cork. And I forgot to point out the bottle as well. Beautiful, like floral designs on the bottle. So again, cheaper than Meghan's, nicer design, bottle design. Bleu de Paris, or prairie, not Paris, prairie. And once again, we look at the alcohol content here, 13%. So this one is on the higher end as well. Oh, that has a bit of a different. Oh, I like that one as well. What's in here? It doesn't say. I mean, to be honest, guys, Meghan's is not the worst of the ones I've tried so far. Does have the highest alcohol content though. Oh. Oh. Yeah. Okay, I might have to throw this one out. I'm like really just be funny if I ended up plastered on this. Really funny. All right, so I've emptied out the glass. Moving on to our next option, which is whatever this is. Ultimate Provence. So we're looking at 12.5 alcohol content. I'm sure some of you are wondering, why am I going through all this? Because I can't tell you that much. But I've had a lot of these sitting in my house for a year in preparation for basically this video. So yeah, I'm going to use them. I'm going to get rid of these or at least use them for the purpose I originally purchased them for, which was a review. And I have to say, guys, this wine, again, we have an interesting design for the bottle here and some interesting details on the cork, if I can get it out. Says up. I guess. Interesting. Alrighty. I don't know. Can itty bitty bitty sips, guys. Ugh. Again, this is a wine that I've had for over a year, so it might have gone bad. Rosé doesn't keep it extremely long time, so that might have been my bad here, but this is just Yeah, just nothing there. Keep going. I almost feel like I have to. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Fleur du Mal. Fleur du Mer, I should say. Rosé 2022. Again, this one might not be very good. So I almost shouldn't judge them. Somebody will have to let me know. Please, any of you wine connoisseurs, let me know in the comments below how awful I did at this. It'll probably give me a level of entertainment. And of course, at the end, I will retry Meghan's. And given all that I've tasted, kind of let you know. I really didn't like the Avaline. Côte de Roses, I didn't really like. The Ford Coppola one, I don't think I really liked. Fleur de Prairie, I didn't like. I liked Biltmore. And I liked the Kunde. Those are kind of my favorites so far. So, just a reminder again, we've taken some time to Fleur du Mer. Again, we have. And the reason I point these out is because the big question is, how long is Meghan going to stick to this? Because she has not, you could argue, figured out a way to personalize her cork in any way. It just says 2023, which I'm sure is probably like fairly standard and could reflect, again, that she chose from a batch of wine that had already been created and was just waiting on branding. So this batch had already been created for a different reason. It just said 2023 on it. She could take this and slap her label on it and slap a gold filling on the top because they just put the cork in it And all it said was 2023. So this signifies to me that this wasn't particularly made for Meghan Markle. Will I become a wino after this? Probably not. Will I be a bit hammered after this video? That's entirely possible. I have a little bit of I don't want to say spice because that's not right. But it got a little bit of a kick to it. Don't know if wine's supposed to have a kick to it, but all right, now we're okay, only 3 more to go, guys. Because honestly, I'm getting a little worried for me. So, hope to goodness, ladies and gentlemen, that we can be done after this. Because I need the break. I wanted to film another video after this, but we'll see if I survive. Oh my goodness. So, again, we have the Biltmore logo on the cork. I won't show it to you because you saw it on the other cork earlier, but same sort of logo situation. And I will say as well, if you ever want to go to the Biltmore, it's about as close as like you can get to what a grand home in Europe would look like. It's the closest in comparison to what a grand home in Europe would look like. So if you want to get a sense of what maybe traveling around Europe a bit is like, or seeing some of these, amazing locations in real life, there are some pretty impressive pieces there, including some very, very old tapestries. So if you're interested, Biltmore is definitely the place to go. So this is a Rosé Biltmore Reserve 2021. Again, could be bad, from North Carolina, because Biltmore is located in Asheville, North Carolina, in case you were unaware. Yeah, actually the entrance location to the Biltmore flooded a couple of years ago, or a year ago. Eh. Man, we need to have a wine connoisseur on here. This isn't bad. Again, I think this might be the one I liked better. I like the Kunde one better as well. So now we're getting into sort of our final 2. And our final 2 here are the closest ones in price to Meghan's. So I feel like this is going to be one of the better. This is Brad Pitt's wine. And this other one's Santa Margherita. Don't know. So this one is from France. This one is from Italy. And I do like the Miraval bottle. Actually, even my cashier at the grocery store commented on it. Oh, no! Okay, ladies and gentlemen. Now, if the cork had come out all as it was supposed to correctly, you could see that it says Miraval again on the cork. So, not sure why Meghan couldn't do that, except for the fact maybe she's not really all that into this. Wouldn't you? I mean, that's a distinct possibility, ladies and gentlemen. So now the cork is officially out. This alcohol content, 12.5. That seems to be very standard. Meghan's ultra high alcohol content is a little odd. So, big question is Meghan's better than Miraval, which again, I just actually purchased today. This is a fresh purchase. So this is, not only is it top wine technically, but it's also fresh in terms of that it hasn't been sitting around and maybe has gone bad. There's like a brightness to it. It's interesting. You get these little speckles of something. I know. Some people are raging in the comments for sure. Raging in the comments for sure. But it's not bad. So finally, Santa Margherita. And then after I've tried all of these, we will give, as ever, one final try. So this is a 2023. Our delicate rosé embodies the heritage and soul of the Trades Venice region, tucked into the northeastern corner of Italy. This brilliant aromatic wine has hints of red fruits, and a balanced finish pairs perfectly with a wide array of your favorite foods, from salads, appetizers, grilled meats, and a selection of cheeses. It's again branded cork. So this particular wine, 12.5. Again, Megan's is 2% higher than basically all the wines I've had here. I think I have had one or two that were 13. And of course, the one I liked best only had 11%. So that may tell you a little bit about me. But this is the Santa Margarita Rosé. These two, between the Miraval and the Santa Margarita, were my most expensive purchases beyond Megan's wine itself. Oh, that's nice. That's actually really nice. I have to say that one's pretty nice too. Yeah, I gotta say I do like that. Mm. Oh, there's a sweetness to it, which I really like. Okay, so my personal favorites, guys, among the 12 or 13 I've tried today, 12 is Santa Margarita, and which is a rosé, and technically the Zinfandel Blanc de Noir from the Biltmore house. The Kunde is a short second. But now let's go back to Megan. So we've tried a lot. I can't really differentiate them too well, but I know which ones I like, which includes this one. Includes this one. But also ones I didn't. And let's try Megan's one more time. All right, so she says a delicately balanced rosé with soft notes of stone fruit. I think it's kind of indicative that she doesn't say what stone fruit. Gentle minerality and a lasting finish. You mean it like a toxic finish? Let's again go ahead and try. Ugh. Ugh. Oh. Ugh. Okay. Okie dokie. I don't know if I like that. I don't know. I like it less even than I did the first time around. Ugh. Oh goodness. Hmm. And I just don't get much flavor from hers, to be honest. It's more, I think I feel like I'm more reacting to the taste of the alcohol and not really like whatever the heck gentle minerality is supposed to be. Now let's again try it one more time. I mean, that's a little better. But looking at all these, I just have to again give Megan a thumbs down here. We have an uninspiring bottle, an uninspiring design, and complete lack of branding on the cork, which I feel like is kind of something other people do and clearly is standard for most of the industry. So I feel like her lack of it is very telling. We also have a situation where the vast majority of her competitors are 2% lower in alcohol content than she is. The highest I had here, besides Megan's, was only 13%. So I feel like Megan, in addition to having a mid tier wine at best, has an extreme alcohol content that's different than most of the others in her competition. So you're more likely, I would argue, probably to get drunk faster off hers than you are on others. That might be kind of by design. That way, if you don't like it, you forget about it at some point. But I find her competitors to be, by and large, better and maybe even cheaper. Now, I know this for sure definitely is about the same price, but it felt like it had a sugariness to it, which I really liked. And that might not be everybody's cup of tea. It actually says dry rosé, which is kind of funny because I wouldn't think I would like something dry. And this one became as well. So vibrant and crisp with sweet tropical fruit aromas and delicate flower berries. I feel like by saying gentle minerality, we're kind of skirting the fact that this thing doesn't have much taste when it comes to Megan's. So Unsurprisingly, ladies and gentlemen, once again, Meghan has another flop to add to her repertoire because even if, let's say, this is not the worst thing in the world, you can get basically the same thing at the store for half the price. So skip waiting in the online queue for Meghan's wine and just go and get it from your local grocery store. You get a better deal, you get a better wine, and you don't have to deal with the craziness. So guys, those are my thoughts. Let me know what yours are. Let me know what you thought of my attempts there to be a sommelier. I'm sure many of you are screaming at your screens right now and going, "Tell us more. Why did you pick up this and that and that?" I do apologize, but I tried my best. I gave you guys my honest thoughts and feedback. And yeah, sometimes you get those reactions of the and they are 100% real, guys. I'm not playing any games here. I just wanted to see what it was. And again, I left profoundly disappointed, as I do almost every time with Meghan, especially the cork thing. The cork thing's really sticking out to me. I don't know why, but just saying 2023 and unique, guys, I can almost guarantee that she basically purchased a wine that was already created and just slapped her name on it. That's the only thing that makes sense to me. Because if she was gonna do 2023, she should have done it in her cursive. Like, the Santa Margarita here is in her cursive. Sorry, I'm trying to decide if the font is similar to Kunde, and I think it probably kinda sorta is. So, yeah, once again, Meghan Markle has taken the easy way out, and it shows. And I wanna do a whole breakdown a bit of the branding and why I think Netflix is actually not on Team Meghan, and I'm gonna explain to you why that is in a video coming up. So guys, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate your support. Again, give me your thoughts down below. I appreciate them so much, and I shall talk to you again, guys, again very, very soon. Bye.